everyone, Jai Shri Krishna and welcome to the virtual economics class. We are going to start with chapter 1 today. This is the pattern that I am going to follow. I will be writing the chapter and I will be writing the lecture number. This is the first lecture of chapter 1. One lecture I have already given and that was concerned with, that was all related to the introduction of the subject. This is lecture 1 of chapter 1. I will be writing the lecture number here so that you will be able to have that kind of connectivity when you watch the lectures online. Now, as far as the our teaching pattern is concerned, we will be having the same pattern. I will be keeping the same pattern that I have kept last year. I will be continuing the same way of teaching. As and when we read the lesson, wherever I feel that this is the 1 mark question or 2 mark question, I will make you mark over there. You can mark there, you can mark that particular line or a sentence. If that is 1 mark question, you can write 1M as we used to follow last year. For 2 mark question, you will write 2M, 3M and 5M like this. Now that would be the answer to that particular question. But what would be the question? So you will be writing the question also. See here, whatever will be given will be an answer. We will have to frame the question accordingly. There may be certain questions which may be 1 mark questions also and 2 marks questions also. There may be certain statements, certain lines which would be 1 mark question but as MCQs also and very short questions also. Let us start with the lesson. Your lesson name is Graphs in Economics. I will be reading from page number 1. I will be reading line by line. What you have to do is you have to keep one notebook with you. Keep a notebook or a paper or a page with you. On that, I will be telling you what line number it is, which paragraph and which number of line it is, and you will be writing down the question and the answer, the first word dash dash and the last word of that particular answer. You will be writing, I will repeat, you will write in the question, I will speak out the question. Then whether it is for 1 mark or 2 mark or whatever marks, that you will be writing in the bracket on the right hand side, and then the answer, and that answer the first and the last word you will be writing. This will help you when you mark your questions, when you actually get your hard copy of the textbook. Okay, we start now. The introduction. Economics explains and analyzes various economic events occurring in the real world. The very first line is an MCQ. The MCQ here, in the MCQ, the answer would be economic event. Now see, the question may be economics explains and analyzes various dash events occurring in the real world. Dash events. So economic events, social events, financial events, political events, such kind of answers they can frame as the other 3 options. So these the 4 options would be, say for example, economic events, social, financial, political, and the correct answer is economic events. So what can be the answer, the blank, that is here economic. An analysis of the statistics provided by the state, banks and international organizations is very purposefully done in economics. Now in the initial one, the first line, it is better you have the online textbook so that in that you can have a look at that textbook and then we can study like this. I had told in the last lecture to keep your online book with you handy, or if you have a hard copy that you can manage from your friends or others, you have, or you can use the used books since you do not have the new books, you are not having that access to the new books right now. Further, an analysis of the statistics provided by the state here is the government organizations, banks and international organizations is very purposefully done in economics. So economics also deals with the recording of the data, and it also deals with the analysis of data. The interpretation part is also done in economics, and only for that interpretation part we need to study the graphs and diagrams. Laypersons do not get interested in discussions and analysis of events done by experts. Why? If everything is just theoretical, it may so happen that common people, common man who does not have much knowledge of economics may not feel interested in the discussion. See, we are interested in discussion if we have certain visuals, if we have certain diagrams, certain pictures, then we get easily interested. That is the other way of generating and creating interest in the audience. Only speaking and only telling and speaking and shouting may not create that interest in the audience, in the people who are listening to you. So it may so happen that people may not be much interested in such kind of statistic and economic data which does not have any diagrams. So to make it more interesting, more understandable, they may include certain diagrams and graphs. So laypersons do not get interested in discussions and analysis of events done by experts, but their attention is drawn. So it is just to draw their attention. So one way of drawing attention of the audience is to use such diagrams and pictures and charts. But their attention is drawn when important aspects of certain events and matters pertaining to economic changes are presented by way of pictures. And this way, certain information which must be conveyed to people reaches them. Now this is your next question. This is your question. How can the attention of the people be drawn? How can the attention, you may write down the question, how can the attention of the people be drawn to important aspects? How can the attention of people be drawn to important aspects? So this is the answer. The attention of the people can be drawn when important aspects of certain events and matters pertaining to economic changes are presented. It can be drawn when the important aspects are presented in the form of pictures, in the form of charts, in the form of diagrams. Generally, two types of pictures are used to depict, to show such information, and those are called diagrams and graphs. So there are two ways. There are two ways of presentations. There are two ways by which important information can be presented to the people, to the interested parties. And those two ways are by the way of diagram and by the way of a graph. Now, meaning of diagram and a graph. Now there can be again one question before that. Which are the two ways? Which are the two types of pictures used to depict the important information? The question is, which are or which can be the two ways, two types of pictures? Which are the two types of pictures that are used to depict the important information? And the answer is, the two types of pictures that are used to depict important information are 1. Diagrams, 2. Charts. Two graphs. So one is diagrams and second is graphs. Now meaning of a diagram and a graph. What are their meanings? So the respective meanings have been given, and both of them, in the diagram its meaning and graph its meaning, it can be asked for 2 marks each. So see, this lesson does not have a 5-mark question in this. So in examination, according to the blueprint, you have got 1 mark का 1 question, 2 mark के 2 questions और 3 mark का 1 question. तो 5 mark का कोई question इस lesson में से पूछा नहीं जाएगा. पर वही question जो 5 mark में ऐसे टाइप में पूछे जाते हैं, कई बार वही question 3 mark में भी पूछे जाते हैं. So you have to be prepared for that. So meaning of a diagram and a graph. So statistics classifies diagrams and graphs as different types of pictures which are used for distinct purposes. They are used for specific purposes. So this can be a 1-mark question. What is the meaning of diagram and graph? What do you mean by diagrams and graphs? This is the question. 1 mark. The answer is the diagrams and graphs are different types of pictures. What are they? They are different types of pictures which are used for specific distinct purposes. So now these two things, two key points, two key words should appear in your answer. Which two words? They are the types of pictures. There are two different types of pictures. And the second key point is that they should be used for a distinct. They are used for distinct or a specific purpose. So they have got very specific use. In economics also, these are used for different purposes. Now diagrams. In that, now they have given details on diagram. Diagram is a representation of observable data by way of a picture. Now 1-mark question. Define diagram. What is diagram? And the answer is this. Diagram is a representation of observable data. Diagram is a representation of observable data. By way of a picture. So what is it? First of all, it is a representation of something. It is a representation of, what is it? It is a representation of something. The keyword, first keyword is, it is a representation. Of what? Of data. But what kind of data? Observable data. So it is a representation of some observable data. And how is it represented? It is represented in terms of picture. So these are the three keywords as far as the meaning of diagram is concerned. Diagram is a representation. It is a different way of presenting. Representation means what? A different way of presenting. A different way of presentation of what? Of some data. In what form? In an observable form. In an observable form where you can see and understand and interpret. See, when I say something, when you hear something, that hearing is not observation. It is not observation, but the same thing when put into some picture, you can see that and understand in a better way. Suppose there is some kind of, a circular or notice by the Prime Minister, and whatever he says, when he says, it is what? It is only, you can only listen to it. He is just audible. He cannot be observed. He can be just heard. But when the same information that he gives, he puts into figures and charts and pictures, you understand in a better way. Why? Because you can then observe. So here you see that information in the form of the picture. So that is observable data. By way of what? By way of some kind of picture. Now, here to understand this and to make you understand this more clearly, I will give you an example. Now this is the information that you have. In a class of 60, 40 are girls and 20 are boys. Now there are different ways by which this information can be presented. This is one way of presentation. That is in textual form. This is a textual form. Another is in the form of a graph or a diagram or a picture form. Now let us take a pie chart, a pie diagram. A pie diagram is denoted by a 360-degree circle. Now out of this is the entire class of 60 students. Out of this, 40 are girls. Now 40, that comes to around 66% of girls. So 66%, when you convert this into degrees, is that to be converted into degrees and then to be converted into the percentage and the degrees. Now if 60 out of total 60, 40 are boys, so if there is 360-degree circle, what would be the number of boys? This is how, what would be the number of girls? This is how the calculation would take place. So 360 multiplied by 40 upon 60. So that would come to 240 degrees. So taking any one radius as a base, taking one radius as a base, you can construct this as 240 degrees, this is 90 degrees, this is 80 degrees, and it is somewhere here. You'll get the exact diagram when you use all the mathematical tools and equipments. Here we are not having all those tools. This is just for the sake of understanding. So this portion denotes the portion of girls. This portion denotes the portion of boys. Now here girls is denoted by, say for example, this kind of a design, and boys is denoted by, say for example, a plain portion. So this is the portion of boys, that is 20 boys. These are the 20, then here lies the boys. This is girls. So if the information is put in kind of words, it is known as textual, verbal information, textual information. And if the same information is put in the form of a picture or a diagram, we will get this kind of a information. This is in the pictorial form. So this is what is the diagram. So it's a representation of the same information. The same information that you get here, you get the same here also. Diagram is a representation of observable data. You can observe this. This can give you better interpretation and better understanding. It's an observable data by way of a picture. Scales and measurements are used while drawing a diagram. You can use measurement, you can use this kind of calculation, and you can also use the scales. Are used while drawing a diagram, though thorough knowledge of statistics is not required to draw. Here you don't require thorough knowledge of statistics. Even without a fair enough average knowledge of statistics, this kind of diagrams can be easily drawn. A diagram is drawn for data which are presented in discrete frequency distribution. In other words, a diagram is drawn for self-explanatory data, and laypersons do not require detailed knowledge of statistics in order to draw or understand a diagram. Now see, this kind of diagram, if I tell somebody कि एक क्लास है जिसमें 60 बच्चे हैं, उनमें से 40 बच्चे जो हैं वो लड़कियां हैं और 20 लड़के हैं. Now instead of telling this, if I just show this is the entire class, this is a class. Say for example, standard 12. So this is the class. Okay. This is girls and this is boys. They get a fair knowledge that the number of boys is more than double, or at least double than the number of girls is double than the number of boys. So they get this kind of fair knowledge that the number of girls is far more, almost double than the number of boys. This kind of interpretation is possible because this is observable. People can see this and make that interpretation, right? So making an interpretation on the basis of a diagram or a picture is better, is easier than the textual one. Further, it is self-explanatory. You don't need to. I don't need to explain anybody. I just need to show this and people would understand. If I want to tell this to anybody, to a layman, he doesn't need any statistical knowledge. उसके पास statistics का कोई knowledge नहीं भी होगा तो भी वो इसको आसानी से समझ पाएगा. तो ये self-explanatory, वो खुद ही मतलब इंसान को समझ जाए उतना आसान हुआ है. ये अपने आप, ये डायग्राम अपने आप को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए केपेबल है. And I'll read that sentence again. In other words, a diagram is drawn for self-explanatory data and lay persons do not require detailed knowledge of statistics in order to draw or understand a diagram. A diagram is used by advertising companies to draw attention by the government, to provide information, and by social organizations to spread awareness. So who all uses such kind of diagrams? This is again 1 mark question. The 1 mark question is, who uses, which organization or what kind of organizations use diagram? So the number of organizations, almost all kind of organizations can use diagrams in order to give out information, and such few to name are, they can be used by advertising companies to draw attention, by the government to provide information, and by social organizations to spread awareness. The social organizations can spread awareness by using such kind of diagrams. Similarly, government also can provide information by giving such kind of diagrams. Government may give information about the urban and rural population, the poverty, the literacy, gender-wise literacy rates. All this information that the government needs to give can be given by way of charts and diagrams. The next part in this, we are on to the meaning of a diagram and a graph. The portion of diagram is over. And the graph. As far as the graph is concerned, we will continue with graph in our next lecture. Take care.